we go. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Tutor Hustle for Teachers YouTube channel. Welcome to our cozy Zoom chat this Saturday morning. And I'm so happy to see all of you here. This is really exciting. Today is a super exciting one, actually, because I've finally written the book on how to start your tutoring business. Remember, I was telling you I was going to do this for a long time. It took me a while to get it going, but anyway, it's finally done. So it's like a little mini ebook and it's free. So you can download it. And I'll put the link to download in the description box below here on YouTube. I'll put it on Facebook and you can download it for free. And all it is, it's not selling you anything either, because I know there's a lot of like courses and tutor coaches out there and stuff like that, and they're all really, really great. So I've decided that I'm gonna just like try to interview as many of them as I can and collaborate with as many of them as I can, because there's so much great information out there. But I myself am not selling any courses or anything like that. I'm just giving you this ebook. And what it is basically, it is my story. So my journey from how I went from a classroom teacher of 20 years to having my own tutoring business and then leaving the classroom to just tutor full time. And that's what I do. And then I offer you the 3 most important steps that I took to make that dream come true, so that, you can take those 3 steps too and make your own dreams come true, your own tutoring dreams. So what I can do right now is show you a little bit of the book here on Canva. I'm just going to share my screen with you. And I wrote it in Canva. Canva is great, by the way. If you don't use Canva, try it, because you can do anything with Canva. You can write books, you can make flyers for your business, you can make worksheets, you can do, like, there's so many things. You can do social media posts. The sky's the limit. So if you're not using Canva, definitely give it a try. So anyway, here it is. Here's a little preview of the book. And what you'll get is my own story. Like I told you, my journey from classroom teacher. I love teaching, and I was like so happy when I first got into teachers college and started teaching. It was really a dream come true for me. But as you'll read, and I'm sure this is probably what a lot of you can identify with, that dream started to unravel once I got in the classroom, because classroom teaching is a different ball game, and that's like for a whole nother video. And I broke my arm in February of 20 I can't remember the year now. February, about 2 or 3 years ago, I broke my arm, and I was so happy the minute I felt the bone snap, because I got to take the next day off work. That was the first thought that came in my head. Like, if you break a bone, you'd be like, "Oh my God, I broke my bone." No, the first thought that came in my head was, "Yes, I get to call in sick tomorrow." I'm so happy. And that was a real wake-up call to me that, maybe it's time to get out of the classroom, because if I'm happy about breaking bones in my body, then that's kind of like a signal that maybe it's time to start doing something else. So I came across tutoring, and I'll tell you how it happened in the book, sort of by accident almost. And then I decided that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do for my job, because I love teaching. And you'll know, if you're tutoring right now, that when you tutor, you can actually, like, really teach. You're free to teach. There's no classroom nonsense standing in the way, like bossy administrators and policies and school boards and parents and all this. Well, I mean, you do have to work with parents still, but it's a different ballgame, because you can cater your service exactly to the needs of your students, and you're free to do that. There's no barrier between you and teaching. And it's sad to say that in the classroom there is a barrier, but there is. And I think if you've worked in a classroom, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So then I go through some things that I tried that didn't work when I was trying to get my business going. And I share them with you so that you can avoid having to go through those steps and waste time. And so I go through some things that did not work for me. And then I'm going to tell you what did work for me. And I offer you the 3 most important steps that I've taken to grow my own business. And we've been talking about these steps actually in the Zoom chats over the past few weeks. Step 1 is to find your freedom, or find your niche, or find out what you really want to teach and who you really want to teach. Step 2 is, and I've talked about tutoring niches a bit. Step 2 is all about marketing and how to get your very first students, and then use marketing to grow your business and make it as big as you want it to be. And step 3 is all about mindset. So I'll scroll down here. So step 3 is all about mindset, because when you're a classroom teacher, you really have to change your mindset from teaching to tutoring. It's a whole different way of thinking. And and I give you some examples of different types of mindset from classroom teaching to tutoring: money, time, boundaries. You're even just teaching itself, your mindset has to change. So that is the third step, and that's one we haven't talked about yet on our Zoom chats. We can touch on that a little bit today. So I remember a few weeks ago I told you about a video called the Pit Pony video by Sharon Crawley, and I'll link that video in the description box below. And I bring that up because it really speaks to the mindset of teacher to tutor. Um, Sharon Crawley uses the analogy of a pit pony, which is a pony that was used to carry coals around mines in England, and it would just walk in a circle around and around and around with this cart behind it and like blinders on, and it knew, that's all it could do. That's what its job was, and it didn't think beyond that. So when they sent the pit pony out to pasture, like when it got too old to carry the coal carts around, it stood in the pasture and just walked around and around and around and around. Didn't know what else to do. It didn't know how to enjoy its freedom because that's all it was used to doing. And she kind of uses that analogy for teachers, because we get so told what to do in the classroom. Like you get all these policies: do this, do that, and we're so micromanaged by everything. Um, and she even uses the term de-skilled, which is true. We're professionals, we're teachers, we know how to help kids learn and grow, but a lot of times in the classroom those skills are taken away from us, and we're just being told to follow the curriculum, do this, do that. And we kind of lose our skills and our spirit as teachers. So when you start tutoring, even if you're still in the classroom and you're just doing it as a side hustle, you're going to explore this whole other side of yourself as a teacher, and those skills are going to start coming back, because suddenly you're free to use your professional judgment and your teaching superpowers to actually teach your students. I know that sounds like, wow, what? But you're free to actually teach your students and serve them in the best way that you know how to serve them. You don't have to follow a curriculum. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. And you can personalize your lessons for each individual student or each group of student. It's very liberating, but it's a mindset that has to really shift from being told what to do in the classroom and told how to do it and told what tools to use and what you can't use. It's a mindset that has to shift from that to being like completely liberated to just teach. And that was the first thing. That was why I fell in love with tutoring. Honestly, that was the first thing I experienced. Like the first student I tutored, I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually teach this kid, and he's actually learning, and we're having fun and enjoying ourselves. Like, this is what learning was meant to be. And it was just like a huge mindset shift for me, because I had never experienced that in the classroom, because we're so micromanaged and like stifled in there. So that's the last step, is you have to shift your mindset from being that micromanaged teacher that's kind of like kept down almost in the classroom, to to realizing that you are a professional, you are a teacher, you have teaching superpowers, and you can actually use them to teach kids. Wow, that's amazing. That's the miracle of tutoring. And that was the last sort of step that I had to take. And something I'm still working on is to shift from being bossed around to being the boss. That's the great thing about tutoring. So I hope that you will download this ebook. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything. There's no catch, no nothing, and you can read about my journey, and hopefully it inspires you. I'm sure that many of you are going to have some similarities and be able to identify with my journey from classroom teacher to tutor. And if you do, I'd love to hear your stories, because I love to hear stories of teachers that have broken free from the classroom, even if it's just in a side hustle, even if you're still teaching the classroom, but you started a side hustle of tutoring and now you're free to teach on your own. I love those stories. So please share them with me. They're very, very inspiring. And yeah, check out the book, give it a read. Let me know what you think. and share your ideas and stories with me in the comments. I would love to hear them. Now, are there any questions about the book or any questions about the tutoring journey or the mindset shift, anything like that from anyone here joining us today on our Cozy Zoom chat? Nope. If you don't want to ask, if you don't want to ask the questions on Zoom, it's totally okay. You can ask them in the comments on YouTube. You can ask them in the comments on Facebook. I'd be very happy to answer your questions. And I'm so happy that you've all joined me today. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can join me too. Come and join me every Saturday morning here for our Cozy Zoom chat where we talk about all things tutoring and teaching. We would love to have you here. And I hope that everyone has a great weekend. Thanks, everyone. Bye.